What's going on, everybody? So we are back again with another Dynamic Fit Pro case study session. So Gretchen, how are you doing today?
I'm outstanding. Outstanding. Very thankful for where I am right now compared to where I was when just before I reached out to you guys.
Absolutely. And this is Labor Day weekend, so we'll definitely do some celebrating after this. But I want to kind of just talk about your experience being in the Dynamic Fit Pros program. So the first question I have is just really, how was life before being in the Dynamic Fit Pro program, and just what made you invest in this program?
Before, I was struggling. I was at a very low place, and I was having a hard time figuring out why I was feeling in the rut that I was in. I knew it was more than that we were in a pandemic. I knew it was more than I had that hip surgery, all these other things going on. I was not happy with where I was. And something you guys talk about a lot, like education certifications. I've got the master's degree, the bachelor's degree. I can hang up all my certifications and fill a wall, but I was overwhelmed. I had left the industry from being burned out, so I was reluctant to go in. And then the pandemic hit, and I was like, I knew that was what I needed to do, and I was having a really hard time believing that I could do it, finding my voice. And I started working with you guys, and you really helped me kind of get out of that clouds of the negative and the fear, and finding my own voice, really pinpointing what I wanted to do. And now here we are, we've gone through all the 8 weeks, and I've had the opportunity to be in our groups every week. So you're coaching the other fit pros that have invested in you guys. It's like I've gotten another little MBA in what I need to have. So I went from being fearful, not knowing where, to having an actual company running. And in weeks, I wrote my first book. I created my first journal from something that had always been in my head, and I just couldn't get it there. Created my podcast, and doing things that you guys were teaching in your podcast, teaching in our VIP group, teaching. You helped me think outside the box and feel successful. I'm not in the clouds anymore. I know exactly, and I don't mean good clouds, like dark, heavy, miserable clouds of, I felt like I couldn't do this. I wanted to go back to a safe job in an office where I could have, I guess, quote unquote, security and benefits, but that's not what I'm wired for. And now I'm getting to do the servant job that I want to do, serving other people, being an entrepreneur in it, and know exactly what I have to do.
Yeah, love that. And really quick, you mentioned fear, right? Which a lot of people are facing before they do, take that next leap and start a business, whether it's fitness, whatever. So let's talk about that. What was the biggest self-limiting belief, that was holding you back from pulling the trigger and going all in to build your online coaching business?
I was stuck in my head where I did experience the past. I was the personal trainer who tried to do everything, who wore herself out, who was never there for her family, who sometimes hardly had time to shower because I thought I had to take it all. I had to take the 5 a.m. client, and I had to take that client even though they were going to cancel at the last minute and then reschedule, and then the online bodybuilding client and the nutrition client and everyone. Whether I loved doing it or not, I thought I had to take everything, and I burned my candle at both ends. I didn't serve my family. I completely forgot about all the hobbies, and I did that until there was nothing left. So I had, about 4 years ago, I left the fitness industry thinking I'm not wired for this. I can't do it. And I created a narrative in my head that wasn't true. So, which is I can't do it. That somebody else, maybe someone who doesn't have a family, who doesn't have kids or a marriage. I kept creating that narrative, and I was really scared as a married woman who wants to enjoy life, thinking couldn't do it. So on one hand, I'm thinking this is my calling, this is my gift, this is my education, this is what I should be doing. And then the other side is been there, done that. Yeah, it was awful. So I had to get direction so that I don't repeat that again. So it's really where it was.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we were just talking about that. I remember like this past week on our live like group calls about just kind of like these false belief patterns that are kind of just these voices in our heads, you know? So I'm glad you kind of broke past those. And, you know, right now I want to talk about just results, right? Because you got some pretty damn good results in 8 weeks, right? So I really want to talk
Yeah.
about that. And what I really want to talk about the most is like what you said, you were kind of in like these dark clouds. And I know you were doing like some like Instacart, you know, type of like delivery stuff, right? Just kind
Yeah.
of pay the bills and stuff. So talk about kind of just like the results you got and like how you went from there to where you're at now.
Well, I'd say, first of all, I think if someone's listening to something like this for the first time, sometimes for a little while, you have to do the things you don't want to do for a little while so that you can really do the stuff you want to do.
Yeah.
And so.
I know, my bad. I know you're probably like, dude, why did you do that? I just really quick, and we'll be back to that video. I just want you to join our free Facebook group community for health and fitness coaches looking to get more online clients. So just click the link below in the description box, join it absolutely free. We got some cool stuff in there, a lot of videos, do live trainings every couple of months on there. And we got some cool freebies on there. So just make sure to click the link below, join our free Facebook group for health and fitness coaches that want to level up and get more online clients to create more income, impact, influence, independence. Back to the video.
I was doing Instacart, I was doing DoorDash because in a pandemic, no one was really hiring, you know, and they especially weren't hiring someone who's doing rehab for hip surgery. So I was busting my butt, just getting all of this, just making ends meet. Meanwhile, when I decided to do this, I even busted my butt a little harder so I could invest in this, knowing that if I follow the plan, that if I help me get my head out of the clouds. I did that still for a while, started invest in myself, stick with the plan, follow a process. You give me these great nuggets of wisdom plus tools that I can implement every week. Then I did, you guys helped me set up, even while I was doing the kind of thing I don't want to do, where I could run a challenge, which I was committed to. I had former clients from that time I was miserable in the cloud. They came back to me to do this challenge. I was able to say, okay, for me, I know rather than doing all the type of training I was doing, my person is that overweight person, especially a woman who doesn't think they'll ever overcome that. Just like I didn't think I could overcome. I intuitively understand that. And I'm a mom. I know what that's like. So I'm targeting that person and giving these people hope again, giving them something that they can subscribe to. So we went from like a $9 challenge for 1 week to having people subscribing where they're paying a monthly rotating thing. People are paying $1,200, $1,900 for my larger packages, or some are saying, you know what, maybe I can't do that all at once, but I could pay $125 for just your nutrition coaching every month, you know, and it's renewing automatically. You help me create a system in place where I don't have to keep thinking about that. Or I could pay, you know, something else for your exercise stuff, which I'm using an app to deliver more easily. So I learned I could actually work less hard and deliver more than I ever have before. The pandemic is actually like a perfect time to do it.
Yeah.
People are looking for us right now.
Yeah.
So
well said. And honestly, I mean, I'm so proud of you, and I'll talk a little bit more after that, how proud I am of you, but you just never once made one excuse. You've always taken action. And I love the fact that you almost use the analogy of sometimes you have to take one step back in order to take 2 steps forward, what you want to do. And it really is a true testament. So last thing, Gretchen, is if there was another fellow fitness professional struggling, maybe having the same self-limiting beliefs, would you recommend our program to them?
Absolutely. I think
Awesome.
I didn't know what I was missing till I did it. I actually reached out to a handful of people and said, I know you're struggling. You're where I was, you know, you've got to talk to these guys. So absolutely.
Thank you. Yeah. Appreciate that. And if you don't mind me asking too, Gretchen, just kind of like those numbers too, like after the 7-day challenge that you probably said $9, like just kind of ballpark, if you don't mind sharing, like what do you think that total amount was that you kind of just like made?
Since then, we're going closer to 4,000. Okay. And this has only been what, 2 months?
Yeah, exactly.
And I wasn't making anything.
Yeah.
So,
so awesome.
What I decided to do is at first I was doing, say, Instacart. For someone else, it could be like their part-time job, or maybe they are entrepreneur in some other way. Just working a little bit harder for something I didn't really want to do a ton. knowing I'm going to reinvest this back into myself.
Yeah.
And just keep hustling there so that I could do it less and enjoy it, you know. And so it's been exciting. So guys, I started using an analogy in my head. Like some people say it's a marathon, not a race. And I'll say that like with my hip healing, but I think this is more like an Ironman. I have no desire to run an Ironman, but I've worked with people who have. And there's going to be some areas you're really good at. So most Ironman athletes I know, they're like either really good at swimming or they're really good at cycling or running. And then there's something that they really suck at. And they're going to dig really deep into the stuff that they really suck at and they're going to move a little slower at that stuff. So like I get overwhelmed with like spreadsheets and creating stuff like that. Thankfully, you guys have a lot that you just give, that you've gone through the effort. So sometimes I actually, even though you gave it to me, I get a little overwhelmed. And that was sort of like, for me, that would be like my swimming. I really suck at swimming. So I go a little slower in getting it, but I got it done. And then I started doing the stuff I really love. Like I love sprinting. I don't like long distance running, but I would just go ahead and sprint in the other stuff I'm really good at, like my social media or my one-on-one communication. It was kind of like, that's kind of how I'm looking at this. Like, this is me running my Ironman right now.
Love that. Yeah.
And, yeah.
That really is a great way. And Gretchen, you know, I'm super proud of you, and it's been an honor to be able to coach you and mentor you. And just only after 8 weeks, I see where you're going with everything. So I'm super excited just to see what you're going to create, what you're going to build, and how many like lives you're going to impact. So where could other people that are watching this video go and connect with you and follow you and see the cool things you're doing?
Sure. An underscore after every word. So on Instagram, it's yes, I am that mom, underscore under every word. Oh, I'm sorry. I changed it. Here, what am I saying? Sorry. Your Mind Body Life Coach.
Okay.
And
all one word?
Underscore. Yeah, underscore. So your underscore mind underscore.
Gotcha.
But so all that good stuff. On my website, it's yourmindbodylifecoach.com. And on Facebook, you can look for my group at Your Mind Body Life Coach. And I'm going to keep putting stuff. I started my new podcast, which is I'm trying to keep it so people don't forget. It's Your Mind Body Life Coach. And by the way, I tell my clients, I want to be your mind body life coach. That's been helpful too. You guys really helped me figure out who am I to me.
Yeah.
And that's what I am. So
I love it. So proud of you. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
If you guys are watching this, please make sure to follow Gretchen and all the cool things she's doing. And Gretchen, again, thank you so much for your time and your honesty, like in this case study. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. You guys have a great, great weekend. Bye.